I'm really sorry that I voted for Donald Trump. I thought that we were going to get a golden age. I thought that I, with my vote, would deliver to you, the people, all sorts of beautiful things like banning Red 40, banning glyphosate, getting rid of the IRS, replacing it with tariffs, doing all sorts of beautiful things, rebuilding our infrastructure, making this country great again, getting our inflation down. But all we got was this lousy war in Iran. I voted for Donald Trump, and all I got was a lousy Iran war and higher prices. It's not possible. It's not possible. How was that Tucker Carlson impression, man? Was that good or what? How is everyone doing today? Welcome to the King Leo Show. I'm your host, King Leo. Obviously, any longtime viewer knows that I did not vote for President Trump because I don't vote. However, today we have to talk about these people issuing apologies like Tucker Carlson for voting for President Trump, which was very unexpected. We saw it on stream last night. I was very pleased to see it, to be honest. I was very happy. And not because I hate President Trump. Quite the contrary. I'm a Baudrillardian. Baudrillardians check in. We do not love or hate anyone, especially a politician, okay? The only thing I love is the idea of America. Now, why do I like this then? Why do I like to see Tucker Carlson begging? I need to see him cry. I need to see him on his knees crawling through glass, just covered in butter, naked, begging for an apology. Please, please. I need to see him beg. And why? But why do I want to see that if I don't have any particular dislike or like of President Trump? The reason is because I have had enough of the schizophrenia in this country. This country is getting more and more schizophrenic by the day. And I'm not saying that it can get less. It's just a lost cause. The train has left the station. It's over. This country, people are going to get crazier and crazier. As the great Timothy Leary said, things are going to get weirder and weirder. And pretty soon we're going to have to talk about how weird they are. Okay? The mental health of the United States is not at an all-time high. It's not doing great. However, if we live in hell, there is a certain temperature setting, and we can choose how high we turn it and how quickly. And all of these people like Tucker Carlson, like the podcast bros, like Joe Rogan, Andrew Schultz, Theo Vaughn, they all contributed to the election of President Trump, and now they gaslight you. This is my issue with them. These people are out here having Joe Rogan had President Trump on for 3 hours on his podcast, did not ask him a single question that was actually important. He let him go on a soliloquy about whales, and now he's disappointed. And now he's going to cry on his podcast that this isn't what I voted for. Actually, it's exactly what you voted for, okay? And then he's going to go meet with President Trump to legalize ibogaine. And then he's going to go back to talking shit. Brother, this guy is trying to drive you nuts. He's trying to drive you nuts. Andrew Schultz, another one that I despise, will talk mad shit about President Trump. President Trump did this, he did that. I didn't vote for this. Okay, Andrew Schultz, why don't you drop your accent, your black scent? Is that what you're doing on the podcast these days? And what you do instead is you register to vote Democrat. If you feel so bad about it, then you should do that. You should stop just talking mad shit and not doing anything about it. Go do something about it. Or shut up. That's my other option. Or exit, because you have shown such poor judgment. Joe Rogan, Andrew Schultz, Theo Vaughn. Who else, man? You know who else. This applies to the left as well. Call her daddy. Mark Cuban. People who supported a candidate. Mark Cuban the other day said that it doesn't matter that Kamala Harris lost, that he wants to look forward. I'm sorry, Mark Cuban. You're just trying to drive the liberals nuts too, man. If you supported a candidate, you were a surrogate, you were out there, you exercised poor judgment, you said this person could win, a person who raised $1 billion, lit up in flames like the Joker. And you're going to tell people to just move past it? No, sir, no. You have to apologize or you have to shut up. If your wife, this goes to all these podcasters, if you're married and your beautiful wife cheats on you and you get home and she says, honey, I cheated on you, But don't worry, we're going to move past it together because look, I've learned, I've changed, and I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to cut off the guy that I cheated on you with. However, we're going to keep moving forward because I know we are strong enough to move forward. Would you accept that from her? If you were a woman and your husband did that to you, would you accept it to them? Or would you accuse them of gaslighting you and being in a verbally abusive relationship at least? That is what these podcasters are, dude. They are verbally abusive. And to return, the reason that watching Tucker Carlson apologize, and I don't buy it. I really don't buy it. I need to see a little bit more. We have to remember Tucker Carlson's the same guy who did a whole episode trying to understand what it was like to be gay. Why are you gay, Milo Yiannopoulos? Why are you gay? It was a whole, I'm not fucking with you, 2 hours of what gay people do. I don't even think gay people talk about gay people that much. But whatever. Tucker Carlson's a wacky guy. Talks about the giant bones in the Smithsonian. It's just a ridiculous podcast. However, for him to apologize for his role in electing Trump, for saying, hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to live with this regret. It is a good step in the right direction. It really is. However, I don't believe him because he's been talking mad shit about Trump. Yeah, he was in the White House the day after the Venezuela operation. He was there a few weeks ago. Tucker Carlson he's also responsible for COVID. A lot of people forget this. Tucker Carlson was the one who convinced Trump to shut down the economy. He flew to Mar-a-Lago to have this done. But that's besides the point. What I'm saying is that Tucker Carlson, in apologizing, it's the first time I see him address his audience and say, I steered you wrong. I was incorrect. I was wrong about something. I was wrong. That is so refreshing to hear. Malcolm X is one of my favorite people. And it's not because I necessarily agree with everything, although he was making great points. It's because if you read the autobiography of Malcolm X, you will see a man who is unafraid to admit that he was wrong. Multiple times. Like 5 times in the book, he's like, I was wrong about this, I was wrong. And, if you can admit you were wrong and rectify it, then you have some credibility, actually, because you're able to move forward. But nowadays, in the internet culture, no one wants to admit they're wrong. I'll gladly admit I was wrong. Why would I not admit I was wrong? I don't vote. But I'm wrong about stuff all the time. I'm probably wrong about what color shirt I wear. I'm probably wrong. And that's fine. I apologize for it, right? Tucker Carlson, this is a big step, man. Big step. If you're a Tucker Carlson fan, I'm sure when that hit your ears, it felt like a weight lifted off your shoulder. Like, oh my God, this feels so good. I can finally stop juggling Tucker Carlson trying to drive me schizophrenic every episode, talking shit about Trump, yet saying that he's his friend and that they're all good and that he's actually not that bad, but he's also evil for doing this war, and he might even be the Antichrist, a slave. He called him a slave. Finally, some congruence, some continuity, something together. I hope we see this from a lot of people, but I know not to expect it. I would love to see David Pakman apologize for supporting Kamala Harris. You stole people's money. You are a thief. You facilitated money because words are more powerful than in coercion than physical violence. You convinced the country that this woman could win, and you lied about it. Even if you didn't explicitly lie, you steered people wrong, and you should shut up or apologize. Clearly, they're not going to shut up, man. But they should apologize. Joe Rogan, same thing. This is for the right and the left, dude. I'm not being crazy. Dave Smith, his apology is a whimpery little baby. I'm so sorry, but also, yeah, man, and I was tricked. You called him a warmonger in the first term. You have no excuse. There are some people like that who should just shut up. However, let's bring us back to the main point. I'm very happy to see Tucker Carlson apologize. I hope we see more apologies so that our country can start to, or not start to heal, that would be incorrect, but can slow its schizophrenia process so that people can take a step back and go, oh, okay, I can feel okay now. I don't have to like Trump and hate him as well. Because this is how the normie thinks, dude. The normie downloads their thoughts from like Tucker Carlson. And now they can say, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry too. I'm sorry I voted for him. I don't have to juggle this in my head about supporting him to my family, my friends, but also not liking him and, fighting about it. You can just enjoy your life. Thank you, Tucker. Big ups to Tucker. I want to see if you stick by this, man. Or if you're going to interview the guy who blew Obama again. Yeah. All right. Let's see that. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you have anything to apologize for. Did you vote? If you voted, you have something to apologize for, even if you like the result. You always have something to apologize for if you voted. Let me know what you have to apologize for. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Join us on Patreon. Join us on Discord. Join us on the live stream. Join us on the channel. We have new stickers. I will see you guys tonight.